Should be able to hear me a lot better now. What's up, gamers? Halcyon.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
Alright, let's get to making our character. I mean, yeah, we all know nothing's better than Fallout. I just need a good title. Strength.
At least you don't have rickets.
Below
yet.
average. Dexterity.
You never did get used to the ship's gravity.
Below
Nerve
average.
damage in your extremities.
Eye. Perception. Charm. Eye.
This
Very
one
good.
had a, what are those called again? Social life.
Good. Can't go any lower than that. Those.
An
These right
intelligent
here.
colonist. I remember when we had those.
Two. Stop. It's available. Go to tech.
Look at that. A real scientist.
I think maybe dialogue.
You could probably talk your way out of a landing ticket.
I feel like that'll be more important there. Aptitude. Is it super quiet? Let me see. The game partly changed my audio. I'd be surprised. Sound set. It's either the game changed my settings or Streamlabs. I wouldn't be surprised either or, honestly. Test. Freeze there.
All right. Go over here to recording real quick. And hopefully it should be back to normal. For the 2 at least. I don't know why the Rift microphone wants to freak out and change itself all the time, but I don't know. Probably just a new update for the Rift causing that. Let me put my meme in here real quick. There's jets flying by also, that's nice. Alright, aptitude. What do we got here? Food additive tester, janitor. Safety inspector. Food effect duration. We'll be a cashier. That sounds fun.
I might require you to push a few buttons.
Appearance, gender, male, face. It's a good bit of like facial designs there. Skin tone. It's probably accurate there. Eye color. We got blah. I look like an angry lesbian right now. And go with the give myself the Joker haircut. I could do that actually. Let's see. Let's see. Trying to tell which one's like brown. It's kind of weird with this. Might end up giving him some hair color I don't want to give him. Not like it's matter. Is there even third person in this game? I feel like this is just gonna be like I'll look in a mirror and see myself. So I think that's good right there. Eyebrow color will eyebrow style. Oh man, I give myself a nice little unibrow. We'll do one of these facial hair. We'll do one of these. It's probably not going to change anything there, honestly. Features. Makeup. I can give myself a little bloody nose. A little dirt on the face. Scar. Scars are good. Give myself a little scar above the eye. Age. I don't think it's really changing too much there. Face. I feel like I want to change the face just a little bit more. I don't know why. But that's good. That's good. What's your name? They call me the Build. The Build. Skills. My TTT location hits. Cower, scramble, terrify, unlocks ability to sell goods to vending machines. Second drug mixing slot for the inhaler. So, alright. So my big skill here is persuade, lie. Not good at shooting unless it's a long gun. Probably can't do much with melee. Sneak isn't actually that great as I thought it was going to be. I can hack, I can do medical. Science is pretty good too. So, with that, we will start the game with our Spud. See what we can get into. Might make the game just a little bit louder too, actually.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend. Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Welcome to Terra 2.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 90%. Skip drive.
Shit.
Inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists.
Capital Wiki.
I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be...
Oh, a bounty hunter.
Good luck.
Who's our friend? Who's gonna help us out? We're out of here. Remember the Hope. 60th anniversary of the Hope's disappearance. Right? Chairman Rocco raises a glass to our lost brothers and sisters. Thank you, Mr. Rockwell. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Very
Is this
cool.
thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
He wants a water purifier, guys. I know it's true intentions. Am I like a sand or something popping out of the space pod? Oh, that game lagged a good bit.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste.
The world so far is pretty colorful.
Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head.
Yeet.
Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Now I will learn how to dock. Yacht. There's a little dude here. Who are you? Come here, come here. And he's gone. I guess I'll keep on running throughout. Adreno? Anything else? Oh, I got some Adreno. I don't know what Adreno is. Adrenaline, maybe? Is it gonna make me lose my mind? You're crazy. Awareness meter overhead tells you they're unaware, suspicious, investigating, or alerted. So something tells me there are guys. You know, playing a lot of Fallout New Vegas, I'm actually not surprised. It does remind me a lot of that game with the weird, like, I should be able to go up there, but I can't type of situation. I just wanted to loot it, okay? Man, what's going on?
You see now, you've been frozen for a while. Bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Is that what we're going to call it? A side effect? My knee! Use the emergency medical inhaler to heal. Okay. That was pretty good. I guess I have 10 of those things. Hey, you just chill around here all the time? Man, what if I don't want to come talk to you? You gonna make me talk to you? Can I loot all your stuff?
Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings.
Ooh, I got medical. Sit still, I'll patch you up. Aim the
Looks like the
patches.
bleeding stopped. I owe you one.
I saved your
Hope
life.
you don't mind me omitting this little exchange for my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help.
What happened to you,
We were out
friendo?
of control. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters.
Wait. Yeah, dude, what were you doing out there?
Investigating an illegally grounded ship. All spacecraft must arrive and depart from authorized landing pads. That's board law, that is. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
I guess. Someone grounded the ship legally. I'll hunt him down for you. I've got a better idea. Give me your gun. I'll go get help. You're an idiot. Give me your gun before you get yourself killed. You know, I'll help.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some
Yeah.
ammo. You're not counting the bullet in the side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all.
You're gonna give me your
All
sword?
Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice.
There's really something wrong with you. I'm out of here. Give me the magazines. Dude, can you get out of the way? Can you get out of the way so I can pick this up? Get the water tablets. Are you telling me I have to shoot it?
Thanks for patching me up.
You're welcome. Tartar sauce. Pre-sliced bread. Sprat. Tactical time dilation. Hibernation complications detected. Due to complications, pressing the tactical time dilation button slows down the world. Okay. Oh, dude, what the heck? Die. Wow, you can take a beating, can't you? Shot your armor. Oh, there's... Alright. What do you have? You dinged me up pretty good there, though. So... Get some cheese. More of these things. I don't know what they are. I hear people. Corpses and containers hold items you can take. Banana. Hacking and picking locks. Okay. I need one more of those before I can do that. So let's break in here. Telescoping staff. Alright. No, I don't wanna... You found a new weapon. Take care of your weapons and they'll take care of you. I look so goofy right now. 73. That's a really nice saber. I think I'll use the saber, honestly, for a bit. So, even though I don't think my melee strength is that high, so let's keep on moving throughout. I think my stealth was like 6, so I don't think I'll really be stealthing past these guys here. He's... Got him. Oh. You guys are literally dressed up like clowns, by the way. Yeah, they didn't even do that much damage. There we go, bump the sound up just a little bit more. There we go. Should be looking a lot sharper now also.
What in the blazes? Where'd you come from?
My mother.
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some. You think? Most marauders can't even talk. But criminals do attract other criminals by their own nature. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. And it's gonna be fucking laminated.
It's gonna be laminated. It's gonna be a Google Doc. We're gonna put you on a Google Doc, you see? Get him, get him, get him. Oh my goodness, stop.
I just earned a fine bonus.
Oh, you're taking all my kills. Yeah, get that meat. Get the meat. I will take all your stuff. I don't know what it really is, but I'm gonna take it. I saw a saber there. Did we do it? Ooh, get to load in here.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
That's such a lie. I see it right there.
Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health. Unauthorized access of spacefarer. Hello. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors.
How can I?
Please return
Can I lie to you?
misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Gesture procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to reject all boarding planes in 5.
She got really triggered really quickly.
3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
Yeah, I played that cap. It was pretty good. It was okay. I need the ship in the
I am
air.
incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main
Is she playing
drive
sad
suffered
music
a
now?
critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator.
Regulator.
Try to stay alive this time.
That was nice. Level 2, let's go. Skill improvement. Anti-Cleo. Management training. Alright. You've been promoted. Alright. Let's go. I want to... Tech. Move you up some more. Stealth could be pretty good. Make that there. I'll do 2 defense. Apply. Alright, perks. Selecting perks. Okay, we'll do let's say unlock the ability to fast travel when encumbered. I feel like that's actually pretty useful. I'll do bonus health. I feel like that's pretty good there too. Journal, codex, these are missions and whatnot. I can't break into that sadly. Anything on the ship here?
Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown.
Thanks, Ada. So cool.
These
Very
are the
appreciated.
crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
Yep. Engine
The
room?
ship's engines cannot be powered until a replacement regulator has been properly installed.
Well, I don't have one, do I? What's this?
If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 workbench is at your disposal, Captain.
A toss ball stick? I don't need that. We'll switch this off here, though.
These surveillance devices allow me to monitor you constantly. Please ignore them.
Alright, this weapon's nearly broke, isn't it? Item repair. Options. That's nice, I can do that. Insufficient weapon parts. Let me walk back.
Say,
Oh,
this
shoot!
wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? 'Cause you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
I don't even know you.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Yeah, take care. Get out of here. Get out of here. I need to go back in the ship to check something. Use the workbench. Tinker. Breakdown. I don't need those. Repair. This is 95%. I want to repair it. Is it fully repaired now? 100%, let's go. Armor management, yes, I know. So I can wear this and this, which makes me look like a marauder. I don't want to do that, actually. Hibernation outfits, rebuilt longer. This is marauder stuff, so I really don't want to be running around with that for obvious reasons. If this game is intelligent enough, then they'll want to kill me. Where did she go? Oh, here you go. Are you here? Is this you?
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
You got that right, chef.
Marauders, deserters, illegal landing.
What about your boy back in the cave? Let's go check on him real quick. Like, I feel like I should tell him, be like, hey, your crew's out here waiting for you, so see if it'll let me go back up. It's not gonna let me go back up there. Can I? I came from that direction, right? Maybe? No, did I come from here? Well, I guess we're just gonna pretend the guy in the cave just doesn't exist anymore. So he probably bled out or went insane or all the above. So well, that looks interesting over there. Let's go check it out. Hey, got a modification. That's pretty good.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
My mother.
Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad.
Beats working at the cannery.
I could really go for some salty man.
Had your rations yet?
Yep. 2 whole cans of salt tuna. I don't have time for this.
Spacer's Choice takes care of its own.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough body parts in my line of work. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. A ship? Dear me. You seem to have lost the ability to distinguish between reality and fantasy. This is what happens when you let your imagination run wild. I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a dreadful habit, corrosive to the mental faculties. You ought to let the vicar take a look inside your head. Vicar Maximilian, our man from the OSI, here to spread the message of scientism like a soothing balm upon a feverish head. Or so you'd expect. You'll find him in our local church, probably neglecting his duties. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. With what? My own blood? Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah, we're just gonna throw that guy into a ditch.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Thompson. Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy. You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state? Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. Sounds like he's already told you. You may as well hear it from me. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching, and soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one. I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me. You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Lord, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
some sort of freelancer?
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Not half as awful as the bill Eugene left us with. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Hey, I can sell stuff here. This riot control armor would be nice. Alright, that's like 2 down. Let's get this person over here. Saltuna Cannery, the only source of protein a busy worker needs.
fancy threads. That some kind of hibernation suit? You run into any trouble? Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners. Skimp out on the disinfectant. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on him. Maybe check his back room. That's the word, extortion. Been on the tip of my tongue all day. Grave digging's a fine profession. Always work to be had, and... Yeah?
Alright, let's run back in here and see if this guy's got anything I can make do with, hopefully. Anatomy and life cycle.
What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon, and if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 58% chance of avoiding gangrene. Go ahead. What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How?
I just walked in on him.
You were probably poking around my things. I really shouldn't leave my letters sitting out in the open. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. That's unthinkable. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein are solely the property of Spacer's Choice. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I? Yes, I suppose I must. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU. Eugene was not a suicide. He put a bullet in his brain, yes, but that's largely a technicality. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague on his corpse, and I discovered medicine in his pocket. Lots of medicine. Eugene overdosed on adrenatime, which is known to cause psychosis and paranoia as possible side effects. The paranoia drove him to take his own life. It's a miracle of bureaucracy. If Eugene's death were filed as a suicide, we'd all pay the price for his crime. We can all thank our lucky stars that young Eugene was hopped up on medication and suffered its predictable side effect. I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with a suicide.
Mantiqueen. Look at this thing, guys. It's one hell of a beast.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. The war. The coming apocalypse. Man versus machine.
Okay,
I'm
Boomer.
talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. That's right. That's what I've been saying. We gotta square our shoulders and stand ever vigilant. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance?
He won't be missing those.
Something I can do for you? Yeah? What about him? Well, yeah. It's what I'm contractually obligated to do. What's this about? Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away. Vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead. Let me know if you find anything. You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink sometime. Oh, suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another. Abernathy was sick? With the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy. What? No. If I knew he was sick, I would have had him reported.
What's up, Bradley?
I needed his fees because of his name. A, for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see? Yeah?
Reputation's starting to get a lot better around here. I'm liking it. We did it. I was really worried there. Things were getting a little spicy. Light machine gun, that's what I'm talking about. Don't know how I missed that first guy, actually. Alright, let's see what this guy's hiding at. This guy needs to move already, so I can get the other one. Guarantee that triggered some people. Prefabricated living, just like home. Step 1, get a box. Step 2, look at the blueprint. Step 3, open it up. Taste the freedom.
Excuse me. I'm Esther Blaine, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with Abernathy. I hope you're not thinking about getting him that medicine. Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Anthracillin is wasted on him. You're better off selling it to me instead. All I'm saying is Abernathy's worked in this town longer than some of us been alive. How do I put this gently? He's got a lot of cobwebs up in his attic. I probably shouldn't tell you. Don't want you implicated for what I'm trying to do. All right, here's a summary. A lot of sick people in this town, and we don't have the medicine to treat them all. Can't reach out to corporate without crossing a river of red tape, so I'm reaching out to you. I'm paid better than Abernathy. Whatever he's giving you, I will do you one better. Thanks. I'll see to it that this medicine gets to the people who need it. Here, something for your trouble. Nothing personal, but I hope we never do business together again. Don't want to make a habit of consorting with smuggler types. You do have some cheek on you.
Oh.
Lucky for you, I kept a little contingency fee in case you tried to negotiate with me. Somebody deserving. Silas on account of him being out in the cold. Amelia seeing how she's around people all the time. Anybody in the sick room? Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
You wanna mingle, go try the cantina.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing with myself.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got her.
The grease monkey, Argo? Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
No, I can't tell my real name.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker?
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. You're the first stranger to wander into town in an age. Scripture tells us that nothing happens without reason. I do not attend the good vicar's sermons as often as I should, but yes, I am a scientician, born and raised. And my faith tells me that hard work and difficulty fortify our spirit. Well, this is hard work I ask of you, but there is a reward at the end of it. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Good law, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Can do.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear... Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just... Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, mister. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms.
Uh-oh.
Holcomb. Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp, so that's not a variable I can account for. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. What? No, I don't want to burn it. I would never. I mean, I just want to. Look, I have a very simple goal here. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. Glad we see eye to eye. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Let's go shut off some power.
Something you need? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. Much obliged.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want chip parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear. It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery. So, what do you say? Divert power over to us. Shut down that abominable cannery for good. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
I'm not gonna do it, but still.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with? Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies. Keep your wits about you, friend.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Oh, didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, how are you? Hi.
He's a little creepy.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town. Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3.
Darn.
If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. Would you? I'd be grateful. Any luck finding one of those manuals? What's on your mind? Luck, mostly. Nothing's needed
Same
serious
old, same
repairing.
old. Just
Nothing's
chilling.
broken down that we can't just replace with something scavenged from the outskirts. Oh, I can swap out a water filter or charge up a battery and go on pretending I know what I'm doing. But the moment I'm asked to do any real engineering, I'm in trouble.
See, these like landmines are like barely a hassle at all, honestly. Thought I got stuck there for a second.
I've always wanted to poke around in here. Get ready.
From the planet to your living room.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing. Woo! Nice work! Three switches. That'll be easy enough. What'll happen?
Down they go!
Getting a lot of stuff out of these like robots here.
Get away!
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Incoming!
Once we do this, there's no going... Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
That's what I'm going to do.
Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Oh.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Now we gotta go get those deserters to return. Nah, dude, we gotta bring the deserters back into Edgewater. I like that little town. Those hippies gotta come back. Can I shut this off somehow? They don't look happy.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
See, I don't know if I don't know. It's kind of torn on this one between. I don't know if I'd say this is a direct evil though, for either side.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth.
I feel like she's BSing, you know?
The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients. If I were in a better mood, I might be inclined to try and change your mind.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. Suppose if I had one of those, I could go back to Reed and make a real case for myself.
Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand. The matter's been weighing on me. Fact is, I can't go anywhere long as Zoe's missing. Disappeared without a trace. Marauders
Who's
took her,
Zoe?
I suspect. I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around a gun. Hence my dilemma. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago, she was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skills far as I could tell. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Appreciate it. Honest.
Any luck finding one of those manuals? I've been thinking about... I mentioned... What?
I didn't mean to steal her poster, I'm not gonna lie there. She's alive.
I know, I'm trying to think.
Don't see why Thomas can't just get the generator up and running. Something I can help you with? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found.
Guess my companion leveled up, okay. Didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, I leveled up too, I guess. It's okay, like I'm just not crazy about it right now, that's the problem. So like there's some aspects of it that are really neat and interesting, but it's not making me like go it's not making me like blown away honestly right now. Like the story is okay right now. It's not like blowing me away. So like I like some aspects of it that are pretty neat. For me the art style I'm just not like a crazy fan of. Also. Okay, I guess it was just a little late saying I leveled up there.
Nice. I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways. What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong. And no serial dramas. I've been thinking about going back. I just gotta know if Lord Cavendish really is the masked marketeer. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to. I'm great at clarifying. I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe a little bit of, I was thinking more Borderlands, but it might actually be more Destiny, yeah.
I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it. I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find but a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse? I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
Well, she's gonna have a hard time learning about that. These little worker books are everywhere, aren't they? Of course it's in here. The other thing too is like I feel like I'm just picking up stuff that really doesn't matter at the end of the day, especially with like the consumables. So I don't know. I guess the good thing is the loading screens haven't been that long for me though. And they are kind of like, they do show off some like interesting stuff. They're not like just dull and boring, but I don't like how I'm having to run around to find engineering books. It's a little annoying here. So unless this guy becomes the world's greatest engineer, I don't know if it'll be really worth it. He just sees me, he's like, I just go back down. Where's that book at? let's go get this last book. Interstellar Championship. Hey. I'd go pretty much back to places I've already been to find these little engineering books.
Get away! Get away!
Alright, talk to this guy in 1 second. I grab something. There we go. Alright, let's resume and see what this guy is all about.
You're not real.
Going crazy.
You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot. Scram. You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Clearly, I mistook you for one of the phantoms of my imagination, which terrorized me on occasion. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons. Oh, that's very kind of you, but I'm sure the surface world is an apocalyptic hellscape ruled by the automechanicals. I'd rather stay right here. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you. The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy. Forgot what you were gonna say.
Incoming!
Alright, let's get back to this little deserter camp I'm probably spending way too much time on than what they're worth, honestly.
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kidding. Really? Well, which one? Look at that. Building a... I appreciate... In fact, I put a... Well, don't... Ain't that just ironic? 2 whole data pads. Well, don't... The geothermal? That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever
I
seen.
doubt that.
Aside from you, Ms. Parvati, I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit. I've been thinking about going... I get sick thinking. You know something? I think you're right. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. It's just... Are you sure about this? I expect we got no... You okay with this, Grace?
Zoe's still out there. Don't much care to leave her unaccounted. If you find her, could you let me know?
Just give us some time to get...
Back to the old cannery. We didn't always get along, but... Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe, you pretty much did my job for me. Let me know if... Look at that. Good for them. I'm glad. Back to the old... I expected it'd end like this. I expect you've done enough. It is too late.
Almost lost a finger in the cannery.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science. But it still happens here.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts? That's good enough for me. Adelaide and I have a history. Was unlikely she'd ever come back. But hope springs eternal. We are in your debt. I am authorizing you for a discount on all official Spacer's Choice products.
Hey, that's
courtesy
pretty
of
good.
the people of Edgewater. By all means. Thomas Kemp? I remember him. Had to write him up for daydreaming a few too many times.
He tries real hard, Mr. Thompson. This is something he wants to do. That'll make him twice as good.
You may be right. And with the town set to grow, it is time I invested in a new mechanic. This whole fiasco is not one I am keen on repeating. I was too hard on my own workers. I pushed them to their breaking point. With more hands at the cannery, I expect productivity will rise. I expect we'll grow. And I expect I can ask corporate to send us some more medicine. We'll survive, one way or another.
Good night, Cap. See, guys, I think that was the right choice. And the only person that suffered was the old lady, probably. With that being said, retrieve the power regulator. Did I even get the power regulator? Something tells me I didn't even pick it up while I was out there, did I? Or no? It's down here, isn't it? Let's see. I didn't even pick up that thing, did I? Region. Let's go back to the botanical lab again.
This was a nice family, you know, while it lasted.
Leave me be. Got nothing to say to you. What happened? Sprat fell into a transformer again? I'm not in the lightest of humors right now.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
Yeah. I try not to remember that.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling. Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right.
No problem, Jeremy.
I
So I'm
wasn't
probably
happy.
winding down also.
I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain, I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
That was easy.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities. We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are, hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain, horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Alright, I think that's where I'm going to save it here today. And next time we'll be venturing off to some new planet. Alright, peace out everybody.